Hello everyone, welcome to Officers Adda247. So hearty welcome to all the bankers in this early morning class. So as you all know that only 5 days remain for your upcoming examination. So I'm hoping that everyone just prepared for this examination, and now this is a time when you should analyze your preparation and you should practice on, and you should focus on the very important chapters for all the subjects. Okay. So quickly, I'm just starting the session now, and before to start that, still you can just enroll for the case study batch if you want that. Okay, and the code that you have to use Y422. With this code, you can enroll for the batches, okay, the case study batch and the selection batch, where you will get the live classes, recorded classes, mock test, ebooks, all thing you are going to get. You only have to use the code that is Y422, and with this code you will get the big discount over that. Okay, so quickly I'm just starting with the very first question here, that is just your opening capital is given. Okay, so opening capital that is given, opening assets are given, opening liabilities are given. Okay, and you have to the closing asset, closing liabilities that is given, and you have to find out the closing capital that should be. Okay, now just understand the very important thing, like so many informations are given, but you have to, if you are good with your concept, why I'm saying always that concept is a really good thing. Like if you just if you having the good command over the concept for every topic of the JIB, then you can do any questions in the examination. Okay, so suppose that here you have to find out the closing capital. And when we talk about the balance sheet equation or the accounting equation, what we understand there, that is asset is equal to liabilities plus equity. Okay, so now just understand here that the asset is equal to liability plus equity. That means the only thing, because balance sheet we prepared at the end of the financial year, right? Okay, so asset here that is given here. If I'm talking about what the closing assets are given, that is a 12,50,000 rupees. So just write here that is 12,50,000 rupees. What the liabilities are given, that is a 4,50,000 rupees, and that is equity or say capital, because both understandable as a liability for the company, right? So what should be the closing capital here? Just tell me here what should be the closing capital. That should be your 8 lakh rupees. That should be your closing capital, right? So that should be your closing capital, that is 8 lakh rupees, right? So this is how you have to do the questions in the examination. I'm hoping that you just understanding this, right? Next question: which of the following steps are used to calculate the accounting equation? Just understand what we understand, what we required. We required the asset, we required the liabilities, as well as the equity or the shareholders fund, right? Now when we talk about which of the following steps are used to calculate the accounting equation, there are so many options are given. Just find out that. Okay, so the total asset of the business that are entered in the company's balance sheet on the asset side, the total liabilities are listed on the balance sheet separately on the liability side along with the stockholders equity. The total liabilities are added to the stockholders equity. Okay, and all of the above. What the correct option there should be? That is the right answer. That should be the all of the above. Because when we prepare the balance sheet, we on the left hand side we just usually we write the liabilities, and on the right hand side we prepare as in like the assets. Okay, so like you can understand liabilities and the asset, the shareholders equity is also going to record under the liability section. Okay, so this is how we actually just do the questions of the balance sheet equation, right? Next question: which of the following system is accounting equation based on? The most of the time, if you just watching my sessions throughout the from where I just started, so you can understand accounting equation or the balance sheet equation all based on the double entry bookkeeping system, right? Where we just know about that every business transactions is having the debit entry as well as a credit entry. Like every debit entry or every debit entry has a corresponding credit entry also. And the very important thing I would like to tell you here, because based on that in the previous year the questions ask like both accounts should be different. Both accounts should be different, like the debit account and the credit account, both accounts should be different, and this is a very important thing to understand. Okay, so the correct answer that should be your, which of the following system is the accounting equation based on? The correct answer, that is your double entry system of the accounting. That should be the correct answer. Okay, next question: Solvency ratio indicates the ability of the company to meet its what, like the current liabilities, long term obligations, finances, or none of the above. What should be the correct answer here? When I talk about the solvency ratio, you can understand it actually represent the company's ability. Always understand the term that is a solvency, that is nothing but the company's ability. Now understand, it is all about the company's ability to meet its long term obligations. Okay, so when I talk about the solvency, you can understand, is company able to is company able to pay off all its long term liabilities in the future as well, that represent by the solvency ratio. Okay, so the correct answer, that should be long term obligations, rather say obligations, rather say liabilities, rather say debt, that all term it is the same. Okay, now I think everyone just understanding this, so the correct answer, that should be your second. Okay, now according to debt equity ratio, what should be the correct option here? Remember the one thing here, because now you only have the 5 days, so just focus on the basic things. Okay, because you can understand, now I'm just focusing on the only the basic concepts here. Okay, so whatever the questions you are getting here, that is the purely based on the concept. Okay, so that's why I'm just taking these questions now, and you have to be, you have to be so specific in this, because you are definitely going to get the questions based on that. Okay, so just understand this according to the debt equity ratio. Now the very important thing, how I can just explain you that you always have to formulate the ratio by your own, how you can formulate that. When we talk about the debt, you always understand debt is nothing but the long term debt. Okay, we always talk about the long term debt, and equity we know the shareholders fund. Okay, and further if we elaborate the shareholders fund, if further if further we elaborate the shareholders fund, we can say that is nothing but the share capital plus reserve and surplus. Okay, so that is your shareholders fund, that is share capital plus reserve and surplus. So the formula, that is long term debt and is divided by the shareholders fund. So what is the correct answer here? That should be your second. Okay, that should be the correct. There is a very minute difference between the debt or investment, just try to understand this. Okay, so debt is different and the investment is a different, do not confuse with these terms. Next, calculate the current ratio from the following informations. The informations are given here, like the current liabilities are given, quick assets are given, inventories are given, prepaid expenses are given. What the first thing that you have to do, look what the formula of the current ratio, that is current asset and it is divided by the current liabilities, right? Okay, now the now what whenever you are getting these kind of the questions in the examination, remember one thing, you have to categorize all the information, like this is what. Okay, so if I'm talking about the current liabilities, straightway current liabilities are given to you. Okay, now the quick assets are given, inventories are given, prepaid expenses are given. Just understand, if I have to find out the current asset, we know that quick asset plus, if we add the inventories and the prepaid expenses, because both relate to the current asset, as well as all the quick asset is also known as a current asset, right? So if we add the inventories and prepaid expenses, that all expenses that may be due in the future but you already paid that, or maybe due in the next financial year but you already paid that. Okay, so now what the value of that, 60 plus 20 plus 20, that should be your 1 lakh, right? So if I have to just write the value of the current asset, that should be the 1 lakh here, and under the current liability you will get the 50,000. This is the 1 lakh. So what should be the ratio? 2:1, or you can also say that is a 2 times, and this is how you have to solve, because you can understand from, you are just understanding the concept regarding like how you should attempt the questions in the examination. And now this is a very important to understand, because we actually do the all the advanced level questions. Now understanding the concepts, like now just revise the all the concept based on these questions. Okay, next, level of the secrecy is very low in case of, look we just understood about the three softwares, that is a ready to use software. Okay, that is ready to use software, that is ready to use software, that is customized software, that is a tailor-made software. What I told you about that, the correct answer that should be the ready to use software. What I told you, ready to use software that is easily available in the market. Okay, so ready to use software that is easily available in the market. Customized software, when we just going to modify some changes in the ready to use software, and the tailor made software that is specifically designed for a particular person, for a particular company, that is known as a tailor made software. So if I say that is level of the secrecy is very low in which type of the software, then you will say that should be in the ready to use software. That should be the correct answer for this question. Okay, I'm hoping that you all are just getting my point here, right? Next question. Purchase of the building for cash. You know, when I say purchase of the building for the cash, so you can understand, if suppose that this is a company, and this company is purchasing the any building. Okay, so this company is purchasing the building. So suppose it purchasing, that means cash is actually out from the company, and cash we understand as an asset for the company. That means asset is going out from the company for what? Like suppose that we actually purchase the building for the 2 crore rupees. Okay, so you can understand the 2 crore rupees of the cash is actually going out from the company because we purchased the building of the 2 crore rupees, and this is also considered as an asset, and this asset belongs to this company now. So that means there would be no any changes in the asset. So keep total assets unchanged. That should be the correct answer for this question. Okay, one thing that is cash is going out, another thing that is a building as an asset that is coming into the company. Okay, so that's the correct answer. That should be the second here. Next question. Which of the following transaction affecting liability side of the equation? You know, when I say about the liability side of the equation, which of the following transaction, if I'm just saying here, that is a goods purchase for the cash. You know, the another thing, what cash is going out but goods are coming into, or stocks coming into the business. That means one thing is going out and one thing that is coming into. So that is that is unchanged the asset. Machinery purchase for the cash, same thing you applied there. Cash received from the debtor, that means this would just increase the asset for the company. Salary outstanding, this considered as a liability for the company. So salary outstanding, rent outstanding always considered as a current liability for the company. What it is considered? It is always considered as a current liabilities for the company. That company have to pay it, okay, as soon as possible, right? So this should be the correct answer for this question, right? Next question. Cost of the car that is given, depreciation rate that is given based on the written down value method. What is the book value of the car after 3 years? Look, very simply you can do this question. You know, the concept regarding the written down value method, that depreciation rate would be applied always on the previous year value, like previous year value of the asset. Okay, so suppose that I am saying here that cost of the car that is a 3 lakh rupees. That is a cost of the car that is a 3 lakh rupees. That means in the 1 year, after 1 year, what would be the value of the cost of the car? You will say that is now remain the 90% of the value. Okay, now if I'm just asking you, because depreciation rate would always apply on the previous year value of asset, previous year value of the machine. So now again depreciation rate 10% would be applied for the second year, getting the value of the car for the second year. So 0.9 again should be multiplied, and for the third year again the 0.90 or 90% the value would remain after 3 years. So if we will just solve that, what the answer we are getting here, just tell me here what would be the answer you are just going to get for this. That is 2,18,700. Okay, so the answer you will get, that is a 2,18,700. So this should be your answer for this question. Look how quickly you can do the questions in the examination. Remember one thing, that the question is about the book value of the asset, or book value of the car, or book value of the asset, or it is a question of the depreciation rate. So you have to be aware of that. Okay, suppose that it is the question is a depreciation for the third year, what it should be, then we will do till now, till here we will do here like every calculation we had done, and whatever the value that would we are getting, we have to multiply there with a 10%. That should be the depreciation rate for the third year. Okay, so this is how you have to solve the questions in the examination. Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone just understood this session, right? So if you liking our effort, liking our content, do not forget to hit the like button on this video, and you can enroll for the complete JAIIB 22 complete e-kit, like for the AFB legal and regulatory aspect of the India, legal and regulatory aspects of the banking, and the principle and practices of the banking. Okay, so AFB, LRAB and PPB, you can just enroll for the complete e-kit. Okay, and this is really helpful for you in you like the last week of this preparation. And you can also enroll for the video courses for the JIB, like this is available in the bilingual as well as in the English medium languages. Okay, the only thing that you have to use the code Y422. With this code you can just enroll for this, and you will get the big discount over that. Okay, and because this is the last time and the test is always helpful for your preparation, so with the code of the Y422S you will get the big discount over the test packs also. So do not miss this opportunity, do not miss this last opportunity. Just enroll for fast for the test packs and the batches if you just want to enroll for that. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching me here, and if you just like our effort, liking our content, do not forget to hit the like button and share this video to your friends, to your colleagues, so that maximum number of our bankers can join with us in these kind of the sessions. Okay, so thank you everyone.